Most people buy an SSD thinking all of them are the same, but this single mistake can make your computer 10 times slower than it should be. And the difference between the cheapest and fastest SSD on the market is so dramatic it will genuinely shock you. But did you know there are actually 10 completely different types of SSDs, each one built for a completely different purpose? By the end of this video, you will know exactly which one your system deserves. Let's get into it. NVMe SSD. NVMe SSDs are the fastest consumer storage ever created. And what most people do not realize is that NVMe is not a physical shape or size. It is a communication protocol that allows SSDs to talk directly to the CPU through the PCIe lanes, rather than through the slower SATA controller that hard drives and older SSDs were designed around. The speed difference is genuinely shocking. A standard SATA SSD maxes out at around 550 megabytes per second, while a high-end NVMe SSD reaches 7,000 megabytes per second, meaning NVMe transfers data approximately 13 times faster than the SATA SSD most people still consider fast. Samsung 980 Pro and Western Digital Black SN850X are among the fastest consumer NVMe drives, capable of loading a modern video game in under 2 seconds that would take over 30 seconds on a mechanical hard drive, demonstrating why Sony and Microsoft chose NVMe storage for PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. What surprises most people is that the PlayStation 5's custom NVMe SSD was specifically designed to eliminate loading screens as a game design constraint entirely. The console can stream data so fast that game worlds can change completely between one moment and the next without any pause, something that was physically impossible with previous generation storage. SATA SSD. SATA SSDs replaced mechanical hard drives as the standard storage upgrade for millions of computers. And while they are dramatically slower than NVMe drives, they remain relevant because they are compatible with older computers that have no NVMe slots and cannot use the faster technology regardless of price. The performance jump from a mechanical hard drive to a SATA SSD remains one of the most transformative computer upgrades possible. Computers that took 3 minutes to boot Windows suddenly start in 15 seconds. Applications that took 10 seconds to open launch instantly, and the entire computer experience feels like a completely different machine. Samsung 870 EVO and Crucial MX500 represent the peak of SATA SSD development, a technology that has essentially reached its physical speed limit because the SATA interface itself cannot transfer data faster than approximately 600 megabytes per second, regardless of how fast the storage chips inside the drive are. The practical reality for most home users is that SATA SSD speed is sufficient for everyday computing tasks. Web browsing, document editing, and video streaming do not benefit meaningfully from NVMe speeds, making SATA SSDs a sensible choice for budget builds and older computer upgrades where NVMe compatibility is unavailable. M.2. M.2 is one of the most confusing terms in computer hardware because it describes a physical form factor, the small rectangular card that plugs directly into a slot on the motherboard, but tells you nothing about whether the drive uses fast NVMe or slower SATA protocol, which is the actual performance determining factor. The confusion that M.2 creates has caused millions of people to pay NVMe prices for SATA performance, purchasing an M.2 drive assuming it is automatically an NVMe drive, when many M.2 drives are actually SATA drives in an M.2 physical package that performs identically to a traditional 2.5-inch SATA SSD. The M.2 form factor exists to eliminate cables, rather than the two cables connecting a traditional SATA drive to the motherboard and power supply. An M.2 drive simply plugs directly into a slot and requires no additional connections, making builds cleaner and reducing the possibility of accidental disconnection. Modern laptops almost universally use M.2 SSDs because the compact form factor fits the tight physical constraints of thin laptop designs. The same slot accommodates both SATA and NVMe drives, with the laptop manufacturer's choice of which protocol to support, determining whether the laptop storage is merely fast or genuinely fast. PCIe SSDs. PCIe SSDs connect directly to the motherboard's PCIe expansion slots, the same slots used for graphics cards, and represent the absolute cutting edge of consumer storage performance. With the latest PCIe 5.0 drives reaching speeds that were exclusive to enterprise data center equipment just 2 years ago. PCIe 5.0 SSDs from Corsair and Crucial have demonstrated speeds exceeding 12,000 megabytes per second in sequential reads, fast enough to transfer the entire content of a 2-hour 4K movie in approximately 3 seconds. A speed so extreme that consumer use cases struggle to actually take advantage of it in everyday tasks. The thermal challenge of PCIe 5.0 SSDs shocked the industry. Drives running at these extreme speeds generate so much heat that they require active cooling with small fans or large heat sinks, something that had never been necessary for consumer storage devices before this generation. What most people do not understand is that PCIe generation compatibility matters enormously. A PCIe 5.0 SSD running in a PCIe 3.0 slot will work, but will be limited to PCIe 3.0 speeds, meaning buyers who purchase the latest generation drive without a compatible motherboard are paying a premium for performance they cannot access. U.2 SSDs. U.2 SSDs use the NVMe protocol for performance, but connect through a different physical connector than M.2, using a cable similar in appearance to a SATA cable, but carrying PCIe signals, making them the preferred enterprise storage format for servers where hot swap capability and large capacity are more important than the compact form factor of M.2. The hot swap capability of U.2 drives is their defining advantage in server environments. Data center operators can remove and replace failed drives without powering down the server, an operational requirement that the soldered or slot-based nature of M.2 drives makes impossible to support. U.2 drives are almost never found in consumer computers. The format was designed specifically for enterprise use cases, where the cable-based connection, larger 2.5-inch form factor, and hot swap capability justify the added complexity compared to the simpler M.2 format. The capacity advantages of U.2 over M.2 are significant in enterprise deployments. U.2 drives are available in capacities reaching tens of terabytes in a single drive, while consumer M.2 drives are practically limited to around 4 terabytes due to the physical constraint of fitting storage chips into the small M.2 format. Enterprise SSDs. Enterprise SSDs are built to a completely different standard than consumer drives, engineered for continuous operation at full load around the clock, with write endurance ratings that dwarf consumer SSDs and reliability specifications that justify price tags reaching thousands of dollars per drive. The write endurance difference between consumer and enterprise SSDs reveals the fundamental engineering trade-off. A typical consumer NVMe SSD might be rated for 600 terabytes of writes over its lifetime, while an enterprise drive of similar capacity might be rated for 17,500 terabytes, nearly 30 times more write endurance from the same amount of flash storage. Enterprise SSDs achieve higher endurance through a combination of higher-grade NAND flash cells, larger over-provisioning reserves that replace worn cells automatically, and more sophisticated firmware that manages wear more intelligently than consumer drive controllers are designed to. The power loss protection feature of enterprise SSDs is something consumer drives almost universally lack. Dedicated capacitors that provide enough power to complete any in-progress writes if power suddenly fails, preventing data corruption that can occur when consumer drives lose power mid-write during unexpected outages. QLC SSDs. QLC stands for Quad Level Cell, storing 4 bits of data per flash cell rather than the 1 bit of SLC or 2 bits of MLC. And this seemingly simple change has created the cheapest large-capacity SSDs available, while introducing performance and endurance trade-offs that manufacturers hope buyers never investigate too closely. The shocking truth about QLC SSDs is that their sustained write performance can fall dramatically after the drive's SLC cache is exhausted. A QLC drive might write at 3,000 megabytes per second when its cache is active, but slow to 80 megabytes per second when writing large files that exhaust the cache, slower than some mechanical hard drives in specific scenarios. Western Digital and Seagate have released QLC SSDs targeting the high-capacity budget market, drives offering 4 or 8 terabytes of storage at prices that would have seemed impossible just a few years ago, with the performance limitations becoming apparent primarily in specific sustained write workloads rather than everyday use. The practical advice for QLC SSD buyers is to understand what they are purchasing. For storing large media files, gaming libraries, and general data that is written once and read many times, QLC performance is entirely adequate, while workloads involving continuous large file writing are better served by TLC or MLC drives despite higher cost. Portable SSDs. Portable SSDs put NVMe or SATA performance in a device smaller than a credit card and powered by the USB connection itself. And what most people do not realize is that the USB standard connecting them is often the actual performance bottleneck rather than the storage inside. Samsung T7 and SanDisk Extreme portable SSDs deliver read speeds up to 2,000 megabytes per second over USB 3.2 Gen 2 x 2. But the same drives connected to a USB 3.0 port are limited to approximately 400 megabytes per second, meaning the cable and port version matter as much as the drive itself for achieving rated performance. Professional video editors and photographers have adopted portable SSDs as their primary working storage, shooting 4K or 8K raw video directly to a portable SSD that fits in a shirt pocket, eliminating the bulk and fragility of traditional laptop-based storage workflows. The durability engineering of premium portable SSDs addresses the realities of mobile use. Samsung T7 Shield and similar drives are rated for drops from 2 meters, sealed against dust and water, and tested for temperature extremes, making them genuinely suitable for field use in demanding environments where desktop SSDs would fail immediately.
Optane SSD. Intel Optane SSDs used 3D XPoint technology to deliver something that NAND SSDs fundamentally cannot: consistent performance under heavy random access workloads, with latency that remains stable whether the drive was idle or operating under maximum load. The practical difference between Optane and NAND SSD latency is most visible in database workloads. While a NAND SSD's response time varies dramatically based on its internal state and workload history, Optane maintained consistent microsecond-level latency regardless of what had been happening on the drive previously. What made Optane particularly interesting for operating system acceleration was Optane memory. Small 16 to 32 gigabyte modules designed not as standalone storage, but as cache accelerators that sat in front of mechanical hard drives, learning which files were accessed most frequently and storing them in fast Optane cache for near SSD performance from a hard drive system. Intel's decision to discontinue Optane in 2022 after writing off over $500 million left customers with orphaned technology and no upgrade path. A reminder that purchasing storage based on proprietary technology from a single vendor carries significant long-term risk if the technology fails to achieve commercial sustainability.
Cloud SSDs. Cloud SSDs are the storage technology that powers every file you store in Google Drive, OneDrive, iCloud, and every photo you upload to social media. Massive arrays of enterprise SSDs distributed across data centers worldwide that collectively store exabytes of personal and business data.
The scale of cloud SSD infrastructure is genuinely incomprehensible. Amazon Web Services alone operates millions of SSDs across hundreds of data centers worldwide, with the combined storage capacity far exceeding everything that has ever been manufactured in the entire history of human information storage. What most people never consider is that their free cloud storage exists on physical hardware somewhere. When you upload a photo to iCloud, Apple systems write that file to multiple SSDs in multiple geographic locations simultaneously to ensure it survives any single hardware failure, natural disaster, or power outage. The economics of cloud SSD storage have created a paradox that benefits consumers enormously. The massive scale of cloud storage purchasing drives SSD prices down for everyone, while the competition between cloud providers to offer the most storage for the lowest price has resulted in ordinary people having access to more reliable storage than the most sophisticated enterprise could afford just 15 years ago.
That covers 10 SSD types explained easy way. If this video helped you understand something new, subscribe to ByteSimple right now, because next week we are breaking down 10 motherboard types explained easy way. And trust me, you do not want to miss that one. Drop a comment below and tell us which SSD type surprised you the most. See you in the next one.